This story would begin at the end of the battle against Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, because due to the incredible power that Gogeta had used to defeat Broly, he'd been able to create a great portal in the sky which he would notice staring at it. Well, apparently I've used so much power that I've been able to crack space-time, but just like in the fight I had used against Black Goku, it should be closed now. Gogeta would turn around, but at the moment, a gigantic power was perceived behind her while the fusion had likewise come to an end. So Goku and Vegeta got into battle-ready pose for combat. It's a gigantic power! I can't believe the power this new warrior exudes! But we don't know if it's a friend or an enemy, because if he's an enemy, we'll have to merge again, since his power completely overshadows us. From the dimensional rift, a warrior identical to Goku would be observed, but his clothing was of a green color, while he did not possess any divine essence. What happened? I was training in the Celestial Dragon Realm. How was I able to do this place? Goku would be surprised to see a warrior identical to himself, but at the same time his essence was different since the timeline that the god Beerus hadn't awakened from his long sleep because mortals weren't able to get access to the state of a god. Who are you? And why do you look like me? Do you want to destroy the planet Earth? Wow, so this planet is equally called Earth as my planet. This must be an alternate reality, or it could be a different timeline. Goku AF would only think about all this, but he would be taken out of his thoughts by the Prince of the Saiyans. We've asked you a question. If you don't answer, that means you're an enemy more, so we cannot allow it. And this time, we'll eradicate you. Vegeta was accessing Super Saiyan 2, but when he tried to hit Goku, AF was able to dodge the blow without difficulty, leaving them both surprised. How was he able to dodge Vegeta's fist if he's in his base state while Vegeta's transformed? That was lucky, but right now, I'm planning to finish with you, you worm. Good for nothing, I'm the Prince of the Saiyans. Vegeta, angrier, would pounce against him, but to surprise him, the Goku AF was able to dodge and block each of his blows, and it would irritate the Prince of the Saiyan much more, since an identical warrior to his rival was able to face him without transforming. I must admit, you have a bit of talent, but how about this? The Prince of the Saiyans would begin to access the Super Saiyan God state, which surprised Goku AF because he stopped feeling his energy completely. However, he was able to perceive that a great pressure was falling all over his body. What is this pressure? It has similarity with the environment of the Dragon Kingdom. Vegeta at a great speed was able to make him a big blow, which on this occasion was able to make him spit blood, which would leave him surprised. Since it had caused hundreds of years since a warrior had been able to hurt him, Goku AF would fall to a part of a glider, destroying the small part of the terrain. What did you think of that? You think you can cope with my Saiyan God state? I can tell you don't possess the power of a god, so you won't stand a chance against me. Saiyan God? What kind of transformation's that? I haven't heard of a transformation with that name, but I don't have to trust myself since I'm not able to feel its power. Goku AF would stand up, he'd begin to raise his power in a great way, leaving those present surprised, as he had only been able to access the Super Saiyan, but the power he emanated was incredible. You have been able to make him transform into my first form, so I must give you credit, since it's been hundreds of years since I've accessed this power. Can't believe the power to release, but after the power of a god, you can't do anything against me. Both warriors crossed glances, throwing themselves to attack while Goku stared at Goku's way of fighting AF, realizing it was a similar style to his. The power that this warrior possesses is incredible, and as far as I can tell, he's not an imposter like Black Goku was. Goku AF was able to connect a huge blow on Vegeta's stomach, throwing him with incredible power, destroying everything around him, while Goku was staring at the place where Vegeta had fallen. Hell, apparently I've overdone it with the power I've used. Hope I hadn't ended his life. Haha, you're wrong if you think Vegeta was defeated with a single blow, since he also possesses incredible stamina. A big blue aura would expand from that place. That's right, Vegeta would start accessing the Super Saiyan Blue state, so the pressure that fell on Goku AF's body was much bigger, but nothing he couldn't master. I can tell that your power has increased again, since the pressure that falls on my body is much greater, so I'll also increase my power. Goku AF would access Super Saiyan 3, but despite being crazy, he wasn't able to compare the power of the Saiyan Prince, since Vegeta was an incredible speed, was able to deal a big blow to his stomach, sending him flying, but at that speed he'd hold him by his head, dragging him down some mountains, and with a strong kick, he'd send him flying, causing an explosion. Doesn't matter that you use Super Saiyan 3, that's your limit. So you won't be able to do anything against me, that we'll be able to have the super of the power of ordinary Saiyans. I've been able to reach each of his punches, but my body's been slow. As I've not been able to react, the Super Saiyan 3 won't be able to do anything against him. So you better talk, because with the next blow, I'll be able to end your life once and for all. Haha, I'd like to see that. Try to finish alive. Furious Goku would pounce against Goku AF, but when he was about to hit him, an overwhelming power would be able to make him retreat, and Goku was dragged a few meters because this time the power of Goku AF that was being released was this time able to access the Super Saiyan State 4. So from a great light, Goku AF would be observed in his Super Saiyan State 4, for which Goku and Vegeta were completely amazed since the power he released was crazy. They didn't know there was a transformation beyond Super Saiyan 3. I can tell by your expressions you have no knowledge about Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4, that's crazy! But I'm not interested. As long as you don't possess divine energy, you won't be able to do anything against us. I want you to try, because with this power, I've been able to defeat an angel, a being who was able to wipe out galaxies with simple thought. Goku AF would stare at Vegeta, giving him millions of blows with the naked eye. That's right, his visual power had increased, so they were able to release air attacks, which were invisible, sending Vegeta flying very badly injured. Wow, the power of the Super Saiyan 4 is capable of even the maximum power of the Super Saiyan Blue! I can't believe it! Vegeta would try to stand up, but he'd lose his Super Saiyan Blue status, fall to the ground, defeated and out of combat. I can tell you have incredible power, but you won't beat me so easily, because right now I plan to use all my power from the beginning. That's an honor for me. Since you use all your power from the beginning of the battle, it gives me an understanding one thing. You're afraid of my power, since both you and I always test the power of our enemies. I must admit that your power leaves me surprised, but I have been able to face a much more powerful war than you, so I have nothing to fear. Goku would access Super Saiyan Maximum Blue. Without exchanging more words, he'd throw himself against Goku AF. So both would exchange thousands of blows all over the planet Earth, and their powers were so great that the battle would spread throughout Universe 7, being seen by God Beerus and Whis. This is the power of Son Goku, and apparently he's fighting at his maximum power. But I'm surprised that he's fighting again, since a few hours ago we returned from planet Earth. He wasn't fighting with anyone. That's right, Mr. Beerus, it's very strange, but even with the rival he's facing, he doesn't have the divine energy, and that he will be able to force Mr. Goku to use all his power. It's incredible. He must be a super warrior. Their battle would cause catastrophes all in Universe 7, so instantly both would take a distance. I'll ask you something. How about we fight on a desolate planet so not to cause destruction on the other planets, since I can tell you don't possess evil power? That's exactly what I was going to tell you, because our powers weren't able to destroy everything around us. Both warriors would leave to an inhospitable planet, which both would resume their incredible battle. But since the longer the battle went on, Goku would take a little advantage over Goku AF, since the pressure of being much more powerful than Vegeta was able to limit him a little more in his speed. And because of this, he was able to dodge and give him much more blows. Your power is amazing! You've been able to beat Vegeta, but you won't be able to do anything against me! Don't get excited, because I still have a lot more power left in this transformation, and if in case you're still more powerful, I have one more transformation. What? Do you have more powerful transformations? I can't believe all the power you possess. This will be so much fun! Goku AF would expel more power, being able to crack space itself, and he would realize with his staff he was able to neutralize each of the cracks caused by the power of Goku AF. While the whole Universe 7 shook a little, this time Goku AF would use all the power of Super Saiyan 4. I'm ready, so you better get ready. I'm always ready, so attack me whenever you want. This incredible power would resume completely, but on this occasion Goku AF was able to overcome Goku in a great way, being able to grant him some blows that caused great damage while throwing up lots of blood. What's going on? Is that all your power? I thought you were much more powerful. I hadn't had the need to use my last transformation. Goku AF would hold Goku by the hair, dragging him all over the planet, creating great chaos by his passage, while Goku's power on this occasion began to decrease considerably, and this would be noticed by all the deities. Whis, this is amazing. Goku's power began to decrease in an accelerated way. That means his enemy's been able to completely overcome him. Indeed, Mr. Beerus, the enemy's power must overcome him in a great way. As for Mr. Goku's power to decrease at this speed, Whis, it's time to come to the battlefield. Both deities would come quickly to the battlefield, while for his part, Goku would stand up with multiple wounds all over his body, and internal bruises as well as too much blood spreading around him. It's time to leave it here. They've made me use the maximum power of Super Saiyan 4, and that's been able to give me great happiness, since I had hundreds of years that I did not use any of my transformations, since no one was able to force me to use them. Goku AF would start approaching Goku, who had his gaze lowered, but the instant he observed him, an incredible heat would be released all around him, which Goku AF would take a little distance quickly. What is that incredible heat that's releasing your whole body? I can't believe it. Did he just also hide one more transformation? Goku's eyes would turn a silvery color, while much more powerful heat would spread all around him. While instantly an incredible aura would rise to the top of the planet, it could be seen that Goku would access Ultra Instinct maximum power, a state that Goku AF had never seen before. What's this transformation? Unlike the transformations before, this time I feel like my body's burning from the heat emanating from him. But all the heat and power would enter Goku's body, so instantly Goku would observe him with a very serious look. And without Goku AF being able to do something against him, he would grant him thousands of blows all over his body, sending him flying very badly injured. Ugh, that hurt me too much. What happened? I wasn't able to see anything. Its speed is something that even reflects the Super Saiyan 4 that aren't able to follow. Goku AF would stand up, but at the moment, one knee would touch the ground because each of Goku's blows had caused incredible damage. So instantly, too much blood would expel from Goku AF's body. Now, the damage has been able to generate from me incredible. I can't believe all the damage he's caused me. The battle would take an unexpected turn because on this occasion, Goku AF was not able to do anything, while Goku dodged with great elegance and hit key points, which caused incredible damage to his enemy. Goku, with a powerful kick, was able to send him to the planet, creating a larger crater around. You're an admirable warrior. You forced me to use the power beyond the gods, and it's something you have to be proud of. I haven't been defeated yet because, as I told you a few moments ago, I still have more power, and this time I'll use my most powerful transformation. For their part, Beerus and Whis was able to reach the battlefield, prostrating themselves on the top of the planet, observing everything that happened. Apparently, the new warrior has appeared with no bad intentions, but his heart is purely identical to Son Goku's, so I could tell they're having a little training battle. In that case, there's no problem in that I thought a new enemy had appeared all over Universe 7, but I'm surprised Goku's been able to access the Ultra Instinct again. Apparently he'll be able to master it in no time. Indeed, Mr. Beerus, Mr. Goku will be able to master the Ultra Instinct in a short period of time, so you should train so that you won't be surpassed. Goku AF at that moment would stand up, he'd clench his fists, and that's right, Goku AF would access the most powerful transformation. This time, the Universe 7 was shaking in an incredible way, so much so that this time Goku's gaze had completely changed. The power he possesses is amazing. Even with Ultra Instinct, I don't know if I'd be able to beat him, as his power seems to have no limit. The power that Goku AF would continue to grow while his red fur would turn white color. That's right, Goku AF would begin to access Super Saiyan 5, which this time an incredible pressure was spreading throughout the universe. The incredible power of Goku AF would expand throughout the Universe 7, a power that would even make the god Beerus shudder, because it was an extremely gigantic power. After a few minutes, the imposing Super Saiyan 5 could be observed. Sorry for the delay, but I'm not really used to using this transformation. That's why I delay in accessing my most powerful state. Wow, you don't possess the power of a god, but the power you possess is amazing. I even dare to say that you could beat most of the gods with some difficulty. I don't know who the hell the gods you talk about so much will be, but at this very moment I want to check all your power, so get ready. Goku AF at a great speed rushed against Goku, but to his surprise Goku, thanks to the Ultra Instinct, was able to dodge the powerful blow that Goku AF had attacked him. Goku, without missing that gap, would try to connect a big blow, but the reaction speed of the Super Saiyan 5 was incredible, so much that he was able to dodge the blow that Goku had tried to grant. Instantly, both were observed starting with their incredible battle, while Beerus and Whis watched intently. It's amazing how a being, despite not possessing the external energy of the gods, is able to reach these limits. I'm sure he's much more powerful than the mortal Jiren. I agree with you, and he's way more powerful than the mortal Jiren. That means he's able to defeat all the gods. Mr. Beerus, you really should start training, since very powerful beings are appearing in our universe. If that warrior is able to access the status of a Saiyan god, I'm sure his power would resemble the power of an angel. Damn, Whis, you know I hate the most is training, but I know you're right, so for tomorrow, I'll join the training with Goku and Vegeta. On the other hand, that great battle was beginning to lean in favor of Goku AF, because on this occasion, Goku AF was able to 100% control his Super Saiyan 5 transformation, unlike Goku, who was not able to master the Ultra Instinct 100%, so his power began to decrease with the course of the battle, of which he had noticed. Damn, I have to end this battle once and for all, because otherwise I'll lose, although I don't know how to beat him since his power is not decreased at all. Concentrate, that we're fighting. Goku AF with an incredible speed was able to hold him by the head, destroying everything in his path. That's right, Goku, despite using all his power to try to get loose, Goku AF completely surpassed him in physical strength, since the Super Saiyan 5 concentrated a large part of the Ozaru power, so each of his punches and attacks were much more powerful and destructive. Goku AF with a kick was able to send him flying a few meters, leaving him on the ground very badly injured and vomiting large amounts of blood. That hurt me too much, but I won't let you defeat me so easily. In this fist, I put all my remaining power, and I know that you're powerful enough not to die with my ultimate technique. Hey Whis, what technique are you talking about? Perhaps he was able to create a new technique in the state of Ultra Instinct. Even I don't know, Mr. Beerus, so this will be an amazing thing to see. I'll allow you to gather the necessary power for you to throw your technique, since apparently you have a lot of confidence in your ultimate technique. Heh. You are very powerful, but he wants to see how you'll be able to stop my special technique. Goku's power would accumulate in his fist, which was capable of causing destruction around him. As hundreds of rays spread throughout the battlefield, Goku, having collected enough power, would stare at him. This is my ultimate technique, Supreme Dragon Strike! An incredible silver dragon had emerged from Goku's fist, so with a great power it began to head towards Goku AF, which was very surprised. While the technique was approaching it, it would say, "Oh, I really am only in a different timeline. Or rather in an alternate dimension, since in my timeline, we never got such transformations. But this warrior is me from another dimension." Goku AF would channel a large part of his power in the same way in his right fist. So Goku's dragon being a few meters away from impacting with Goku AF, this would give a big smile. Hey Whis, what are you planning to do? If he receives that attack, he'll die. No matter how restrained he is, I'm sure that technique's capable of ending the life of any of the 12 gods of destruction. I don't know, Mr. Beerus, but I doubt that individual will die, as the confidence he shows is amazing, so he must have it as up his sleeve. But from the fist of Goku AF in the same way, an incredible dragon would arise. So at the moment, both dragons began to collide with great intensity, leaving the deities surprised, but the most surprised was Goku. How's this possible? That's my Dragon Punch! I'm also able to use the Dragon Punch, so let's see who comes out victorious. Both dragons would collide with a great power, but the more the clash of attacks went on, Goku began to fall to his knees, because the power he used was wearing. Damn, I can't lose, because if I combine that attack hits me, I'll die. Goku would try to focus much more energy on his attack, but his body would instantly collapse, due to the excess energy. That's right, an incredible combined attack would be directed towards Goku, however, being a few centimeters from hitting him, Goku AF would teleport in front of him, and with an incredible expulsion of his energy, he was able to disintegrate the combined attack. Ugh! The bones of my entire arm has been completely destroyed. Apparently the combined power is much more lethal. However, at that precise moment, an incredible pressure would fall on his entire body, a pressure that exceeded Goku's by dozens of times. So much so that on this occasion, his speed had decreased. What the hell? Where does this great pressure come from? It's much more than the one that Goku of this dimension. It was about Beerus, who was increasing his power to 80%, with which he was able to bend Goku AF a little, because he wasn't releasing 100% of all his power in his most powerful transformation. You, tell us who you are. Apparently you've got the required power to face warriors who reach the level of the gods. I'm only Goku, only I come from a very different dimension. Since I was training in the Kingdom of the Celestial Dragons, and a big gap opened in my dimension, and as I approached, I was transported to this dimension. Well, that is very rare to see, since the travel between timelines, although it is forbidden, is even more frequent than people think. But the travel between dimensions is that of 1 in a million. And I can tell that you've been able to fight Son Goku Ultra Instinct. So tell me, how are you able to fight against a god? I'd love to tell you, but at the moment I'm not 100% of my abilities, so it'd be impossible for me to keep up with him. Don't worry about that. My angel's able to heal every one of your wounds and leave 100% of all your power. In that case, it's great to me. I want to measure myself with the power of a god of destruction, since in my dimension I've never heard of them. Whis, with his staff, was able to heal each of Goku AF's wounds, so they both took a little distance while Goku AF would expel much more of his power. I hope you're prepared, as I've got great expectations of your power. Beerus at a great speed rushed against him, but the incredible blow was blocked by the forearm of his enemy, and instantly they began to exchange millions of blows throughout Universe 7. Since the presence of Whis, each of the planets were safe, and in the same way, Whis would heal all the wounds of Goku. My body hurts too much. I feel like 1,000 planets have fallen on me. I can't move in the slightest. It's normal, Mr. Goku, because apparently the Goku of that dimension has much more physical strength, because in the short time he's been fighting with Mr. Beerus, his power is incredible. Is Mr. Beerus fighting with that powerful one? That's right, Mr. Goku, but don't worry, as both of you possess incredible resistance. The battle of both warriors would spread throughout each corner of Universe 7, but even though Beerus was the one who hit the most, his fist did not do so much damage. On the body of Goku AF, it seemed his skin was that of an incredible Zaru, since the damage that the god caused him was minimal. Unlike Goku AF, who was not able to hit him so much, but the few blows that he was able to give him caused incredible damage, and in an oversight, Goku was able to hold him by his tail, making multiple laps around the Universe 7, and with a great power was able to send it to the planet, destroying it completely. The power you show is amazing, although you really leave me surprised since none of the celestial dragons are able to compare with your power. Beerus, while standing up in a rage, would expel too much blood, which would make him much angrier. I don't care where the hell you came from. I'm planning to beat you up since I don't let this humiliation pass. A simple Saiyan can't beat a god. Beerus, much more annoyed, would expel 100% of his power, with which his power as well as his speed had increased in an incredible way. That's right, since by using all his power, each of his attributes would be raised to the maximum, so he'd begin to grant millions of blows all over Goku AF's body, and being millions of blows in the same place, he would begin to cause him much more damage. Goku AF would try to hold him with his incredible physical strength, but Beerus with a great speed would move to one side of Goku AF, hitting him back the same, sending it to a planet, completely destroying it. You possess great power as well as incredible stamina, so I'm sure this simple attack won't be able to end your life. Ball of Destruction! A large sphere of energy would begin to approach Goku AF, who, with all his incredible opposing, would stand up and would likewise begin to carry an incredible attack in his hands. And the Ball of Destruction being a few meters away, Goku AF would throw his incredible attack. Due to this, an incredible clash would begin to take place between both warriors. However, despite the fact that Beerus possesses much more power, Goku AF was able to withstand it, since his resistance was incredible, but after a few minutes that his attacks collided, an incredible explosion would be generated, starting to exchange many more blows all over the place. But this time, the power of Goku AF began to decrease little by little, which Beerus would notice, as the power of his fist began to fall gradually, taking advantage of it to end the fight with a big blow to his head, making him fall to the ground completely out of combat. I must admit that the power this guy possesses is incredible, but apparently he really is Goku from another dimension since he returned to his base state. While Beerus was walking back, he would also fall out of combat, because he had serious wounds all over his body. Well, apparently even Mr. Beerus has been left in a terrible state. Apparently the Goku of that dimension is very powerful. Whis, please let go of planet Earth. Vegeta must be very badly injured, as he was the first one I fight against that version of mine. Well, of course, Mr. Goku, right now we're leaving for planet Earth. Whis, along with the other warriors, had left for planet Earth, which on the Prince of the Saiyans had already recovered completely, thanks to the god of the Earth, so when he arrived, Whis with his staff would heal the wounds of Beerus and Goku AF, who woke up with severe headaches and joints. and hurt me too much. So that's the power of the gods of destruction. After all, I have to keep getting much more powerful. Apparently, it doesn't matter what dimension or timeline it is. Goku will always be a very powerful warrior. Whis, please give us much more intense workout. I don't want to stay behind another Kakarot. I plan to become much more powerful. Mr. Whis, please, you can train me. I want to become much more powerful, and you are the master of my counterpart in Vegeta. Of course, because if there's any danger, there will be 3 super warriors who'll be able to face all over Universe 7. So don't worry. All the warriors would leave for the planet of Beerus to begin with their great training. Meanwhile, in the palace of the great Zeno-sama, Daishinkan would come to the call of his king, because he had requested his presence. Tell me, my lord, how can I help you? I'm really bored. How about we organize another tournament of power again? That seems great to me, my lord, but this time we can give you 2 months of time so that you'll be able to become much more powerful, and the battles will be more entertaining. What do you think, my lord? I think it's great, Daishinkan. Yes. I already want you to inform the other gods. Alright, my lord, at this very moment, I will start communicating with the other gods to give them the respective rules. But before that, let's do an exhibition battle, just like last time since I really feel very bored. Okay, my lord. What universe do you want to do this? I'd like it to be between Universe 6 and 7, because the legendary assassin called Hit also has some amazing techniques. It's okay, my lord, don't worry. Daishinkan, with his great mental power, was able to communicate with each of the gods and angels, informing them of the new Tournament of Power, as well as the exhibition battle that would take place in approximately 2 days. All the gods were surprised and terrified to know that the new Tournament of Power would take place. I don't know why I feel so nervous. If we have the most powerful warriors. Mr. Beerus, what's wrong with you? I can tell you've been feeling very tense lately. What happens is that the mighty Zeno-sama has organized a new Tournament of Power. Tournament of Power? What's it about? And who's Zeno-sama? Zeno-sama is the most powerful existence in all the 12 universes. No one's above him, and the tournament is about a pitched battle between 10 warriors of each universe. The warrior who remains at the end gets the Super Dragon Balls. Super Dragon Balls? In my dimension, I've never heard of those. Only the Great Dragon Balls, but the Super Dragon Balls, never. They're the most powerful balls, so in 2 days they will have an exhibition tournament against Universe 6, in which you'll be able to understand the rules. This will be a lot of fun. So after so long, I'll be able to train Jiren again. And this time, the power of the Ultra Ego I'll be able to achieve, and I'll be able to give them a beating to damn Topo. It's something new for me. It looks interesting. For this part, the Great Priest, with his power, was able to make an exhibition tournament, as well as the god to observe the battle between the universes of 6 and 7. A large platform had been created in an inhospitable place of all the 12 universes. Just like the first tournament, it wasn't a platform that resisted much. On the other hand, returning to the other universes, the gods were going to call Daishinkan, while on the other hand, the god Champa with Vados, with a great speed, would recruit 3 warriors of the most powerful of the Universe 6. Yes, sir, yes. We have to summon Hit, Frost, and a Saiyaner. What do you think, Vados? If we make the Saiyans merge again, and with the help of your Bakulo, we'll manage to take the fusion last 1 year. I think it's an excellent idea, Mr. Champa, since they both participated in the last tournament, but if they participate from outside the tournament, we can win 1 more place. Great, in that case, we have to order the clays, so that both Saiyans will be able to merge again. At this very moment, my lord, both deities came to Kaiosama of Universe 6, so that both Saiyans were able to merge again. At the moment, they went to the planet of the Saiyans, which, when they got there, they were surprised to realize 3 gigantic powers on the planet Saldala. They were the only Saiyans who possessed the power of a god. Vados, were my senses functioning properly? The essence that's felt to that god, were they able to achieve the state of a god? Their senses work correctly since the 3 Saiyans in that location have the essence of a god. Apparently, this tournament will be much more interesting. The deities got there quickly, to which the 3 powers of energy were, but there was a castle, so to enter it, they had to face multiple soldiers who rushed Champa. But being a god of destruction, he was able to defeat them, prostrating himself in front of a big blue door, in which an incredible essence spreads all over the place. The essence that liberates this place is amazing. I even feel my whole body's shaking completely. I agree with you, Mr. Champa, because the essence that's felt is of the highest level. I could say with certainty that this essence is capable of overcoming a god. A big explosion would cause in the main hall, because a warrior had increased his power because hundreds of soldiers were humiliated as if they were just worms. Ciampa, without being able to see anything, was able to be held by the neck with an incredible power. He wasn't able to move because the power with which the war was strangling him was amazing.
Who the hell are you? Having the divine energy, I don't have many doubts since you must be one of the gods, but your power's pathetic.
Akuma-sama, please release him. He's Ciampa-sama, the god of our universe. Please spare his life because if he's come to this place, it's important.
Akuma, with a little fury, would release him, falling out of the outer part of the castle, generating a small explosion. However, Ciampa would be furious, releasing 100% of his power, and with his max speed, he rushed against Akuma, who with a big smile would get in front of Ciampa and not moving at all.
Strike with all your might. It'll be the only blow I'll allow you to grant me.
Ciampa's fist would hit Akuma's chest, generating a huge explosion all over the place, because the power which hit him was on another level. But at that moment, the smoke dissipated and you could see a large quantity that fell to the ground. But the surprise was much greater for Vados when he realized that it was Ciampa which released all that blood, since his arm had been completely destroyed, colliding with the chest of the king of the planet Saldala.
Maybe that's all your power? You really are a simple worm. You're useless. If I wanted, I'd end your existence of becoming a new god.
Ciampa-sama, how are you feeling? We're sorry for everything that happened, only that Akuma-sama take care of all the Saiyans on this planet. Exactly, and when you entered beating every warrior who stood in front of you, our king got angry, but he's not a bad person. I apologize on behalf.
Vados would heal Ciampa, who'd stand up in his gaze of an incomparable terror, because the power which had hit him was 100%, and he wasn't able to do anything to him.
I'm sorry, I apologize for hitting all your soldiers, but we need your strength, since the mighty king of all Zeno-sama has decided to do another tournament.
Another tournament? Well, this will be interesting. I will be able to show the useless Goku how powerful I can become.
When this tournament you're asking is in place, since if it's in this moment, I have several matters to attend to, so it'd be impossible for me to go. Don't worry, the Tournament of Power will be held in 2 months, but right now we need the fusion of Kale and Khalifa, as an exhibition tournament will be held. Understand for the Tournament of Power? Of course I'll be. Count me in. And an apology to the authority of this universe, I'll exalt myself for my people. Don't worry, it's something completely understandable.
At this time, without merging, so now I'll start the fun, since at the end of the Tournament of Power we hadn't had a good battle.
Both Saiyans with the clays were able to merge, but the power they released was incredible.
Wow, this power is amazing, because after so long, Khalifa and Kale's power has increased in an amazing way. I feel invincible. Indeed, the power that Khalifa was able to release is incredible. It's the level of any god of destruction. I already want to crush those bugs from the exhibition tournament.
I'm sending a powerful warrior, so I'm sure Universe 6 exhibition tournament will win. It's time to leave, Vados. We have to recruit Frost and hit the killer. The trio of warriors would leave to contact their 2 warriors. Meanwhile, returning to Universe 7, the warriors that would represent this universe in the exhibition tournament would be Goku AF, Goku, and Vegeta. There's nothing to be afraid of, because with the power of these 3 warriors, we'll be able to clinch a victory in the Tournament of Power.
Mr. Beerus, you better not trust yourself, because otherwise we may be eliminated. Because at the end of the Tournament of Power, each of your gods, I train their warriors, so I don't doubt they have the same power.
I understand that, Whis, but we'll never be able to compare with Son Goku's power, much less the power of his counterpart. Not to say that Vegeta's been able to fully master the energy of a god of destruction. What makes me angry is that I'm not able to access the divine energy yet. I can't imagine what my transformations will be like if I mix them with the energy of a god. You don't have to worry about that. When it's the day of the Tournament of Power, I'm sure you'll be able to control all the energy of a god. I want to see who's our enemies in this exhibition tournament.
It's really impatient, too. We'd better leave now so we won't be late.
Okay, it's Mr. Goku who will perform on the platform now. Beerus, with everyone else on the contestant exhibition tournament, would take to the destination of the platform, which once they got there, Goku AF would feel how incredible it was all over the place. But I was surprised to realize the incredible aura of both kings as a whole, because their training with the celestial dragons were able to teach them to see the size of their aura of the enemy, even though he is in my whole body this time, because the aura of the guys who are on top of this whole platform, so they're the most powerful warriors in this dimension.
Gods and angels, I thank you for your presence today, in which the exhibition tournament will be held before the authentic tournament.
I hope that today the battles will be dazzling like those in the last occasion, and that in the Tournament of Power, it'll be much more entertaining. Hehe.
You already heard the great Zeno-sama? So at this time, the exhibition tournament will be held between the universe of Zeno-sama's best friend. That's right, Universe 7 against 6. My first warrior will be Frost, the demon of the cold. Frost would enter in his final form, however the power he emanated was incredible, while he had also opted for much smaller appearance to Frieza. Mr. Beerus, I want to defeat that cheater, who was in our tournament was able to eliminate several of us with his poison. From our universe, he'll be the Prince of the Saiyans, Vegeta. Vegeta would go down to the platform, which at that moment both warriors stared at each other.
Ho ho ho! This time I plan to finish you, because if you die there is no problem, because this is not the Tournament of Power.
Frost at a great speed would pounce against Vegeta, but to surprise Vegeta with his agility was able to dodge his blows. With incredible precision, he would irate Frost much more, which would retreat a few meters.
Apparently you've also become much more powerful, but no matter how much power you've increased, since I am a prodigy, you won't be able to defeat me. That warrior looks a lot like Frieza from the dimension I came from. Heh, don't worry, there's also a Frieza in this dimension, and they're identical.
I really thought you'd be much more powerful, but you're still the same trash before. I'll annihilate you right now.
Damn, I don't want to have to go maximum on you. I want to save it for the damn Frieza who was able to betray me.
Frost would clench his fist, destroying everything around him. While everything began to shake, Frost was accessing a new transformation where his body was beginning to turn golden. But the power he released was more than Frieza's, because this time Frost had 100% control of the energy wherein said transformation.
What do you think of it? Even if I have the same transformation appearance as Frieza's asshole, I'm able to control 100% of it. So transform yourself, because I won't give you another chance.
You don't need mercy, but if you want it so much, I'll grant you the pleasure. Although with you, I don't have to even use my goddess and Saiyan.
Vegeta would expel a huge power, being immortal, but his hair was starting to grow in a great way. So after a few minutes, Vegeta would be seen in Super Saiyan 3.
As I've told you, I don't need the power of a god with you, insect.
I swear I'll kill you, you worm.
Frost, pissed off, would pounce against Vegeta, but as surprising as it seemed, Vegeta was able to dodge those blows because his power was growing in a huge way in his base state. Each of his transformations would be enhanced with an overwhelming power. While Vegeta dodged those blows, it'd provoke him more.
Is that all? You really train? Since your power is still the power of a simple worm. Your power is nothing apart from me, so you better do something else.
Vegeta with a powerful blow to his stomach would send him to the platform. Destroying a little on the outside, Frost would try to stand up, but a single blow from the Prince of the Saiyans was powerful enough to leave him in a horrible condition, as his body expelled a large amount of blood.
You better give up, because if you get back on your feet, I won't have mercy on you.
Although he did get to his feet, after taking a few steps, he'd fall out of combat because his body wasn't able to withstand such a blow.
Frost from Universe 6 has been eliminated, so the first round is won by Vegeta from Universe 7.
Damn, I thought Frost with his great training would be able to beat him. Will Beerus' warriors be more powerful than mine? For its part, he was thoughtful while he watched the two Gokus. Only one of them had green clothes somewhat different from Goku he knew.
The real problem is the Son Goku I know, because as far as I can tell, the other Goku does not have any divine energy.
In that case, please let the warriors of the second round move to the platform.
Kefla, without preamble, would go down while aiming at Goku.
I want to fight with you because I want to show you all the power I've been able to get. This time I will beat you. Heh, Mr. Beerus, in the second round I'll fight Kefla, since I'm sure that my other self will be able to beat Hit. I trust him.
Goku would go down, but without Daishinkan starting the fight, Kefla rushed him, who, with a little effort, was able to block his blow. However, his arm became numb. Regardless, both would begin to exchange thousands of blows all over the platform. After a few minutes, both would take a little distance.
Kefla's powers increased in an incredible way, but I'm able to defeat her. I'll be using my legendary status right now, so I want to see what you could do.
Kefla had an incredible scream, accessed the legendary Super Saiyan, which would lash out against Goku. Goku would access the Super Saiyan Blue max power, combining with his Kaioken increased 50 times. At the first clash of the fists, the platform was destroyed. Then Daishenka, with his great power, teleported everyone to a distant planet to continue the battle.
I never thought the mortals would be able to reach these extremes. On this planet, they can use all their power without any problem.
The battle would be very balanced, however Kefla's power was incredible, which began to corner Goku a little. Kefla would move at a great speed.
This battle is mine.
Kefla would execute her last blow, putting all the energy on her fist. However, Goku was dodging it, but over the place an incredible heat was perceived. While her eyes could observe, that's right, Goku had access to the imperfect Ultra Instinct, which he would observe Kefla. It's time to end this battle. Goku, with a few blows to her vital points, knocked her out of combat.
The second round is the victory of Son Goku belonging to Universe 7.
Damn, I thought I had a lot more hidden power.
Mr. Champa, don't worry, since Miss Kefla, I don't use her divine energy. Apparently, she doesn't want the other gods to know her power. For that same reason, Mr. Goku didn't use the maximum power of the Ultra Instinct.
The last two fighters of their respective unit forces plased to the platform.
Goku AF would come down to the platform, as would Hit. Both would stare at each other with purple rays scattered all over the battlefield. This battle is apparently very interesting. I'll have to access Super Saiyan 4 at once, since the power of my enemy completely overshadows me. Goku would access Super Saiyan 4, beginning to shake the entire planet where they were, leaving everyone surprised. The incredible power of Goku AF has left everyone surprised, even Hit, because despite not possessing the divine energy, his power was amazing. Hit, without meditating words, would execute a jump in time, hitting several blows to vital points. Despite them, Hit's fists hurt when hitting the strong body of Goku AF.
What's going on with Goku?
I'm able to hit him, but his fists hurt too much. It seems like an extremely powerful barrier.
Wow, the power you have is amazing. Although, no matter what you do, you won't be able to beat me. Although, what kind of technique's that? You better try to discover her, although when you are able to discover her, it'll be too late, as I'll be able to defeat you. That Hit, your power's amazing. You can give us the victory. I trust in you. That's interesting. It's very funny to see how their hopes of beating us in Universe 7, but the most entertaining thing is to see how their hope changes to despair.
The power of my counterpart's amazing. Despite not knowing anything about time jump, I'm sure he'll be able to beat Hit.
It's something that I envy about Goku. Since his body's resistant, it seems that the Ozara has its own defense. Despite us being Saiyans, the damage that was caused to Hit was another level.
I must admit that your power possesses is amazing, but you won't beat me. I don't know what kind of technique you have, but you'll learn every single one of your attacks. Haha, don't say stupid things. How'd you be able to learn my attack pattern with only a few hits? If you really made it, I'd call you a genius. Hit would use the time jump, but Goku was able to stop his blow with one of his hands. Surprising him because Hit used much more power, he wasn't able to free himself from Goku's power. No matter what you do, in physical potency it's impossible for you to be able to defeat me, since I possess the power of the Great Ozaru. Goku was able to send him flying with damage to his entire body. Since Hit was trying to stand up, his knees would bend because he would spread all his blood on his body, which left him surprised.
Are you more powerful than the Goku I fought with?
I don't know that. Since my former self also has great powers, I can't say who's more powerful.
That's a nightmare. This Goku's much more powerful than the Goku I fought. Since it doesn't matter who has the divine energy, his destructive power is amazing.
Hit would stand staring at Goku AF, both exchanging hundreds of blows on the battlefield. Hit's power wasn't enough to face Goku AF because he still had one more transformation and Hit didn't know this.
Wow, the power of our friend's amazing. I can't believe it.
You're mistaken, great Zeno-sama, because that Goku's not your friend. Although he does belong to Universe 7, he's completely different.
Wow, that makes so much more sense, and it's exciting.
The battle of both would continue with a great rhythm, but the exchange of blows with Hit being seriously injured, his power was lower than the power by Goku AF. Hit in an oversight by the left leg, being crashed against a few rocks around him, destroying everything around him.
I know you have great stamina, so that's nothing for you. I haven't been able to end my life, but you almost knocked me out. You better give up, because otherwise I have to get much more serious, and I can tell you you're a nice guy. Don't say stupid things. I'm a legendary killer, so I'm not going to give up so easily.
Hit using Time Jump to its max similarly wasn't able to do anything against it because the power of Goku Super Saiyan 4 was able to fight through space-time.
Well, this is unexpected. Apparently Goku of Universe 7 will win. Hell, none of my warriors are able to do anything against him. This makes me angry.
My Lord Champa, don't be angry. You're right. We've lost this battle, but this war is still at stake, since we have Akuma, the King of the Saiyans, just like Kefla hasn't used all his power.
I understand, Vados, but I'm not sure Son Goku has all that power either. That's what makes me nervous the most.
We have to wait, my lord. We can't do anything right now.
The battle of both reached a climax. Goku AF won the victory in Universe 7, Daishinkan being able to finish the exhibition of tournaments. On this last occasion, a mysterious warrior appeared.
Identify yourself. Who are you?
I'm sorry, Daishinkan-sama, for my behavior, but I want to try this power the new Goku and I have trained hard. The masked man would let his face be shown, showing Jiren, the most powerful second warrior of the 12 universes, which rumors were that he wasn't lacking because the pressure emanating from his body seemed superior to that of a god of destruction. Who is this guy? His power seems to be superior than that of the gods. I'm able to feel his ki because he doesn't have the same divine energy, but his pressure is somewhat rare. In previous Tournament of Power, I defeated Son Goku, but since I've been able to fight, although I could tell you surpassed the power of Goku which I fought, I want to test your power.
Ha! There's no problem because, to be honest, I haven't been satisfied with the combat I've had.
You've been able to talk with great Zeno-sama, and apparently he agrees that with both of them, they're able to have a friendly combat. Heh, get ready because I won't hold back.
Wow, Jiren's power has increased in an amazing way. I can't believe that Jiren fought with me last time. Indeed, Mr. Goku, Jiren's power has increased, so much so that I am able to assure you that he is capable of defeating any god of destruction, except Mr. Beerus.
I don't know, Whis, since all that Belmont is the second most powerful god, and to be honest, I doubt Jiren's been able to overcome him, since he's also been training so not to be surpassed by a mortal.
I'll check that out in a few moments.
In the beginning of the battle, Goku AF, without reacting, has been sent flying, thousands of wounds all over him, while Jiren stared at him, just like every spectator had been very surprised. What? Even I, the god of destruction, have been able to see him. What does that mean?
It's amazing. Jiren's power and speed seems to have increased in an incredible way.
Goku AF would stand up with a big smile over his face because the battle on this occasion promised to be interesting. The power you possess is incredible, but what has surprised me the most is the physical power you have, as well as your speed. You flatter me, but you also surprise me since an ordinary warrior's been able to knock out a combat or he'd die. You're powerful, but you still lack much more power to end me, so get ready. Goku AF would clench his fist, power to the max. Goku AF would decide to use 100% of his Super Saiyan 4 form, and that started their great battle. But despite Goku AF using all his power in this transformation, he wasn't able to be equal to Jiren's power because he was still much more superior. He was able to grant him millions of blows in a matter of moments, making him fall to the ground.
What? How have you been able to achieve this? Even if Goku AF loses, my Goku won't be able to do anything.
Don't worry, Mr. Beerus. My counterpart's very powerful and she won't lose a few hits.
But I must admit that Jiren's power has grown in a measurable way. I even dare to say that his power growth is compared to that of Saiyans.
Goku AF would stand up, but this time, despite staying on his feet, his injuries were serious and he vomited too much blood.
You better give up. I must admit, the stamina you possess is on another level, as I've been able to use 65% of all my power.
Panic and amazement were among the gods because the power of Jiren was used not 100%, which would leave them shocked, even Daishinkan.
This is beyond belief. The power he has that Jiren's participant has shown is only 65% of his power. No wonder his opponent's overshadowed. He hasn't been able to do anything against him.
I don't think there's such powerful warriors, but the good thing is I still have one more transformation, which multiplies my power in an excessive way.
Huh. Don't say stupid things, because if you had one more transformation, you'd have used it before. It's impossible for you to have another transformation.
I was saving this one for the day of the Tournament of Power. I can't let you humble me like that. Goku AF would clench his fists and was able to release an overwhelming power that would make Jiren retreat a few meters, because that power was able to destroy everything in his path. After a few minutes, a great aura would rise to the sky, while the dust generated a similar power Goku was able to observe. But his fur was silver, while his eyes commanded absolute respect. This is my last transformation. What do you think of a second round? I want to kick your ass once and for all. It doesn't matter if you've only increased with your muscularity a little, and your fur's changed color. That's not real power. Jiren, annoyed, would pounce against him, but the power scale was even more even, because both connected blows that, with this power, would made everything rumble. I can't believe that Beerus has 3 warriors who possess power beyond the gods, but 2 of them are able to even defeat them. I can't believe it. The power they emanate's amazing. I definitely don't think we'd be able to stand up to them.
Mr. Champa, please don't be discouraged. I'm sure the power that Akumo hides is incredible, because his confidence is absolute.
Definitely. The power that guy has is an outrage. And what kind of transformation's that? He looks like a complete monkey. The battle would continue with great rhythm, but Jiren would release more power, just like Goku AF realized the power of that warrior was above the god of destruction, since he compared his power to the power of Beerus at that moment with a big fist both separated. It's time to end this battle, so I plan to give all my power in the next attack. In the same way, I don't plan to lose again against a copy of Son Goku. This time I'll be the winner. The power both was resting was incredible, so much that the gods felt this pressure, and at this moment a pressure of 1,000 times greater was able to destroy both warriors to their knees, whose bones were almost completely destroyed. What the hell's going on? This pressure is incredible. I'm not able to move my fingers. I'm completely immobile. It was enough, since their maximum powers must be demonstrated in real tournament. This was just a friendly battle. Daishenko would stop releasing his incredible pressure, so each of the gods were able to help their warriors, to which both were watching, generating some pressure to which each god had left their respective universe.
The tournament this time seems like it'll be more fun. I like that.
I'm glad, my lord, that you're pleased to be prepared for a real show. Each of the universes had returned, and about 2 months to become more powerful. All the warriors began to train more carefully because they didn't know which universe would win, or if much less their survival was at stake. In this world of the celestial dragons, a powerful warrior was able to destroy everything in his path in the search of Goku. However, not being able to find anything, he was able to destroy everything. Ha ha ha! That's interesting. Apparently my father's not in this place, but I have to find out his whereabouts since only I must be the most powerful Saiyan. That was how Zycor, the lost son of Son Goku, began to absorb the power of each of the celestial dragons, and was able to end his life with the help of his mother, a lost KO, but she would give her life for her son, making it possible for him to absorb the power of the most celestial dragon, and with that was able to end each of the other dragons. I have to master this incredible power little by little, because if I'm not able to achieve it, I'm sure that something bad can happen to me, since these dragons have gigantic power. Zycor, for each dragon that absorbed, began to meditate, not being affected by the energy. And as the time passed in a very different way, Zycor at that time was able to couple his new power, returning to the original dimension at the end of 1 month completely. Vegeta was able to master 100% of the power of the Ultra Ego. Whis, I've been able to completely master the Ultra Ego, so I'm completely ready for the Tournament of Power. In that case, Mr. Vegeta, I'd like you to release 100% of your power, since I have to witness what's your limit. Of course, Whis, no problem. Vegeta's power was starting to increase in a surprising way, because on this occasion he had been able to attract the attention of both Gokus, who were having a friendly combat. Wow, apparently Vegeta's powers reached a new level. That'll be interesting. I agree with you. Although I haven't been able to master the divine energy completely, I'm sure the pressure I feel is incredible.
Even if you're not able to master the divine energy 100%, you're able to understand it in a way.
Vegeta's incredible energy increased to a madness, which, with all this power, was able to generate a small space-time crack, which had been closed by Whis, but this was something more complex. Since Whis closed it, the dimensional crack was still open, being perceived by Xicor.
What is this space-time rift? Did Goku son of a bitch come this way? Although I doubt he left, something else must have happened.
Returned to the planet of Beerus, Vegeta was able to release 100% of his power, making the entire Universe 7 shake. Wow, really, the power you've been able to get is amazing. Vegeta, you've become strong.
Of course I am, Bug. How do you think that I'd let myself get outdone by a simple low-class Saiyan? I'm the Prince of the Saiyans.
Hehehe, sure, but I'm sure looking forward to getting to start with that great tournament.
In Universe 6, Akumo was thoughtful while he watched Kefla train with the other participants of his universe.
Really, the Saiyans of Universe 7 are powerful. Even the legendary assassin Hit's lost. Out of the 3 friendly battles, we've all lost.
Akumo-sama, I understand that you are upset with the defeats we've had, but don't worry, I'll use all my power.
I know, Kefla, but I'm sure that guy named Son Goku didn't use all his power either. We'll have to train in this last month that we have left.
Of course, if Akuma-sama, even as surprising as it may seem, the legendary assassin Hit's also training. He couldn't stand being defeated for the 3rd time in a row by Universe 7.
Even the legendary assassin Hit's been surprised that way. This will be a complicated one, so we must be prepared.
This was how the universes were since Universe 7 was crazy, being able to have all the universes panic. On the other hand, Universe 11, Jiren was meditating, and this way his level of power was increased. However, an overwhelming pressure was felt throughout this universe, while from a large door a powerful subject began to leave.
Have you really come back? I never thought that you'd be able to get out of that dimension. How do you think I would be able to get out of that dimension? My power knows no limit.
Brother, many things have happened in the last centuries. Even warriors more powerful than us appeared in the 12 universes.
What'd you say? Warriors more powerful than us? Well, that's something impossible, since our race is one of the top of the 12 universes.
That's what I thought too, but the power of Universe 7's another level. No matter what you do, you won't be able to beat them. I was defeated in the first tournament of power.
If you said that the first tournament of power, that means that we're going to organize a second one, so this time I want to participate.
Exactly, brother. In a month, the second tournament of power will be held, but I must admit, Universe 7 is powerful.
Ha! My brother, don't worry. Since I'm here to help you, this time you won't be alone.
The last month passed quickly, which the platform also was completed, so the universes began to come to that platform, and once arriving Universe 7, a great power would be perceived all over the place. Despite the powers of the rest state, however, Goku was able to greet the warriors of Universe 6. Akuma would observe him, realizing that an incredible aura was coming off his body, but before being able to say anything, an overwhelming pressure would fall on the realm of nothingness. Just like even Daishinken felt that pressure.
What? Will that pressure be from a new enemy or maybe some universe?
Then Universe 11 appeared, leaving everyone surprised since all the 3 powers stood out. The power of Toppo, the power of Jiren, and the power of Jiren, which on this occasion, this power was able to overshadow them all.
Wow, the power of that guy's amazing. This power will be interesting.
Apparently that guy's Jiren's brother, since their auras are similar, although only in essence, because in size, the aura of the other guy completely surpasses him. On this occasion, Universe 7's got nothing to fear. Our power's been elevated in an incredible way.
Indeed, I don't doubt the power of that guy that would make it difficult for us to win. Hey, Son Goku, this time we'll win the tournament of power.
It'll be better to be prepared since in a few minutes it should be about to start. I thank each and every participant for coming. This time the rules will be the same. Throw your opponent off the platform, no weapons to kill the enemy, and saying that, start!
The platform would be filled with explosions because each universe launched against the weakest beings. The later of the beings would be really powerful, but an incredible aura would rise all over the place. An aura similar to Broly's. Akumo had accessed the state of the legendary Super Saiyan God because he was the original Saiyan of Universe 6.
and I'm planning to be eliminated for having my guard down and my energy reserves being amazing. I have the ability to stay in this state for months.
The battles would continue with a great rhythm, while Jiren, along with his brother, just watched as multiple warriors were completely eliminated.
We must eliminate the weakest warriors. I agree on that because if we are release of true auras, they could die, and thus we would be eliminated.
I agree with you, brother. For that reason, the entire Justice Troop is taking care of those warriors.
And I can tell that your thinking has completely changed. These guys can't be considered warriors. They're just garbage.
Brother, I always thought that too, but really my defeat against Universe 7 made me reflect too much, just like Goku revived us.
That guy's name's Goku? He must be powerful. Just like his heart's completely pure, this makes me sick. I want you to eliminate that garbage already.
Jake, Jiren's brother, would expel a bit of his power, with exerting this pressure over the platform being able to leave multiple warriors out of combat by his pressure, which was much more simple to take them out on the platform.
With that, we've been able to eliminate multiple warriors of all the universes.
This is amazing. Jake, the participant from Universe 11's been able to eliminate 15 warriors simultaneously with his aura. In the dimension of the Celestial Dragon, Zykor was able to master the power of all the dragons, taking over the divine power without knowing it. The only thing he felt in his body was this new power, which traveled like a great flame, so he'd stand up.
It's time. I've been able to leave this dimension rift a little. I don't know where it'll lead me, but I'm sure to be a fun place.
Zykor, expelling a bit of his power, was able to destroy a large part of the dragon dimension, which was said to be indestructible. That great rift was able to open completely, where Zykor would enter, and after a few minutes of traveling through space-time, Zykor was able to reach the planet of Beerus, because that's the place where the rift had formed.
What is this place? I've never seen or heard of such a place.
Zykor, possessing a divine energy, was able to feel the power of the gods, angels, and priests, in one place with a big smile because he was able to feel the energy of his father.
I feel the power of extremely powerful beings, just like my father's energy.
Although there is energies very similar to his, which be another sun, Zykor concentrated to disappear his energy completely.
I want to realize everything happening since it's not time for my father to see me. I want to know who all the warriors are.
Zykor, being the son of Goku and Kaioshin, was able to teleport, reaching the kingdom of everything, which, despite having no energy and hiding within advanced domain shadows, Daishenko would observe where Zykor had arrived.
Wow, how strange is that? I felt a new warrior arrive, but it's apparently not my stuff. Wow, that was close. The perception of this guy is amazing.
Zykor would notice hundreds of warriors fighting each other, while these warriors were sitting watching the fights.
Apparently, the warriors fighting must be mortal. Unlike the beings who are watching, they must be the ones my mother talked about, the ones considered gods.
However, Jake observed him where Zykor felt the pressure fall over his body, although he didn't allow him to make him fall to the platform.
What the hell is that guy? The pressure he puts on my body is incredible. My perception's much more advanced than that garbage.
Since these are my workouts, I was able to push my body to the limit. Instantly, huge pressure would be released over the battlefield, because on this occasion, Kefla accessed the Ultra Instinct maximum power.
I can't wait anymore! I'm planning to end all that garbage! I want to face Son Goku once and for all!
Kefla, as if a lightning bolt, eliminated most of the participants in a blow, knocking them out of combat, which took 4 minutes, and the weakest warriors were completely eliminated from the platform.
That guy has been saved since the pressure that Saiyan was neutralizing mine, which helped him go to another place. Wow. Who are these guys? The power that they hide is incredible.
Goku would immediately stand in front of Jiren, beginning to release all his power, accessing Ultra Instinct's maximum, while much more power would emerge from his body. Vegeta would approach Toppo, who was in the God of Destruction state.
No matter how much you've trained, you're nothing to me.
I want to check that out since I'm currently a god too.
Vegeta would raise his power to the Ultra Ego, accessing a new transformation, releasing the God of Destruction completely, leaving all gods surprised because of his power he was expelling.
It's time to access Super Saiyan 5 once and for all. I'll be your opponent, and apparently you're the most powerful warrior among this garbage.
Goku AF would begin to access Super Saiyan 5, releasing this power, leaving Xicor surprised, who would realize his power was amazing.
If I had to come with the beginning, it would have been completely eradicated, but at this moment I have the necessary power to end this garbage.
Goku AF would access Super Saiyan 5 Max, so the three most intense battles would be about to begin. Kefla would pounce against Goku, but Akuma would hold her.
No, Kefla. It's better to wait. Those 6 guys, they're the most powerful. Even if I release my power, I'm compared to them, but it's better if they're weakened.
I understand, Akuma-sama.
Goku AF would approach his enemy, which were released due to their auras, which collided in a credible way. In the dark skies of Thraxis Nocturn, the stage was transformed into a cosmic battlefield, where divine light and malevolent darkness collided in an epic confrontation. Owamo and Ewin, the guardians of this planet, displayed their celestial power with a grace and precision that defied description. The glow of the purifying light emanating from Ewin and Owamo spread across the space, illuminating the shadows that the shadow creature was trying to grasp. Ewin and Owamo's every move was a ballet of divine energy, as they gracefully dodged the dark attacks encountered with unstoppable force. Owamo's wings shone with a resplendent light, like stars in the night, as he invoked the very essence of creation to repel the dark forces rising up against him. By his side, Ewin radiated an imposing presence, with his penetrating gaze fixed on the creature as it defying the darkness itself. The shadow creature, on the other hand, was fighting with an impressive ferocity, trying to resist the overwhelming power of Ewin and Owamo. Their dark attacks were launched like ravenous shadows, seeking to consume the divine light that surrounded them. However, every attack was countered by the impenetrable force of Ewin and Owamo, who remained firm in their purpose to protect the planet. The clash between light and darkness created a symphony of cosmic energy, with flashes of light and bursts of energy illuminating the firmament. The light will always prevail over the darkness. Your power is formidable, but it cannot resist the purity of creation.
You can't stop me. I'm the very embodiment of darkness.
Darkness can be powerful, but the real strength lies in balance, and we represent that balance. Ewin and Owamo continued to deploy their energy with amazing precision, creating light barriers that repelled the attacks of the shadow creature. Every movement of Ewin and Owamo was imbued with a divine elegance and grace, while the creature struggled with a desperate ferocity. Our mission is to protect the harmony of the universe, and that includes protecting this planet from your darkness.
You can't stop me. I'm inevitable.
The shadow creature launched waves of dark energy, but Ewin and Owamo easily repelled them, maintaining an opposing presence in the midst of battle. Every blow of Ewin and Owamo resonated with the force of creation, while the creature struggled more and more desperately. The darkness can be a challenge, but our determination's unwavering. We'll not let you destroy this planet. Your power may be formidable, but it cannot equal the eternal light of the universe. The battle continued with Ewin and Owamo and the shadow creature facing off in an epic clash between light and dark. In the midst of the struggle, Father Zeno silently watched from his kingdom, perceived the magnitude of the conflict. With an imperceptible gesture, he decided to intervene, taking Ewin and Owamo to a mental plane where they could confront the shadow creature in a terrain beyond the physical. In a flash of dazzling light, Owamo and Ewin were transported to an ethereal realm, where the laws of the universe twisted and blurred. Where are we, Ewin? We have entered the realm of the mind, a place where reality is molded according to the will of the observer. Here the real battle be fought in the deepest corners of our being. While Owamo and Ewin were transported to a mental plane by Father Zeno, the shadow creature continued its fierce assault against the warriors of Thraxis Nocturn. Turles, Bardock, Raditz, Frieza, and Cooler, the most powerful warriors on the planet, rose up against the darkness that threatened to consume their home. The shadow creature, imbued with a dark and malevolent aura, hovered over them with an overwhelming presence. He distorted his energy, enveloping everything around him, tearing reality itself apart. and threatening to plunge the planet into an abyss of chaos.
We won't let you destroy our home, shadow monster. We, the warriors of Thraxis Nocturn, are not afraid of the dark.
We have faced much greater dangers than you, creature.
We will fight together to protect our world.
The shadow creature launched a powerful dark attack towards the warriors, but they responded with relentless ferocity. Turtles, his eyes shining with determination, unleashed a shower of destructive energy, summoning the very essence of nature to channel it in a torrent of energetic attacks. Their powerful attacks cut through the darkness with devastating precision, creating dazzling explosions that lit up the planet's night sky. Bardock, with his fiery ki and indomitable spirit, channeled his energy into a powerful attack. His fists were burning with a searing intensity as he launched a concentrated burst of energy towards the shadow creature, challenging its strength with its own. Bardock's attack resonated with the determination of an invincible warrior, willing to give everything for the protection of his world. Raditz and Cooler, united in battle, joined in a coordinated assault on the shadow creature. With fluid and coordinated movements, they launched bursts of energy from different angles, creating a barrier of attacks that surrounded their enemy. The shadow creature struggled to defend itself against the combined onslaught of the two powerful warriors, but its resistance was challenged by the determination and skill of Raditz and Cooler. Meanwhile, Frieza, with his golden form glowing with a golden aura, was preparing to unleash his full power against the shadow creature. His eyes shone with a cold and calculated determination as he focused his energy on a devastating attack. With a graceful and precise movement, Frieza unleashed a burst of golden energy that swirled with unparalleled destructive power, threatening to envelop the shadow creature in a mantle of fire and destruction. The battle escalated as the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne bravely faced the darkness that threatened their world. Every blow, every burst of energy echoed through space, creating a spectacle of destruction and determination. Meanwhile, on the mental plane, Awamo and Ewin were engaged in a metaphysical struggle against Father Zeno, an omnipotent entity whose presence radiated an aura of indescribable power. Ewin and Awamo, aware of the gravity of the situation, desperately sought the intervention of Father Zeno to counter the threat of the shadow creature. However, to their surprise, Father Zeno solemnly informed them that they could not intervene directly, since the balance of the universe had to be kept intact even in times of crisis. Awamo and Ewin, although unhappy with Father Zeno's decision, understood the importance of respecting the laws of the cosmos. With determination, they plunged even deeper into the metaphysical struggle, using all their ingenuity and power to find a solution to the crisis unfolding in Thraxis Nocturne. As a confrontation on the mental plane reached its climax, Awamo and Ewin found themselves face to face with the imposing Father Zeno. His figure radiated an indisputable authority, but also an aura of mystery that aroused restlessness in the Ewin and Awamo. Awamo, with his usual serenity, broke the tense silence that filled the ethereal space. "Father Zeno," he began in a firm but respectful tone, "could it be you that... Were you the one who sent the shadow creatures to destroy the planets?" Father Zeno, with an unflappable expression, nodded slowly. "I did it for the good of the universe," he replied calmly. Although his voice resonated with a power that shook Ewin and Awamo, sometimes drastic measures must be taken to preserve the cosmic balance. Ewin, with a flash of indignation in his eyes, could not contain himself anymore. "But that doesn't justify the chaos and destruction you've unleashed!" he exclaimed, his voice echoing with unshakable determination. "There are other ways to restore balance without resorting to violence and darkness." Father Zeno observed the god of destruction and his angel with a penetrating gaze, as if he were evaluating their words and their posture. "Your compassion is admirable, but sometimes it's necessary to sacrifice a few pieces to save the entire board," he said in an enigmatic tone. Awamo and Ewin exchanged determined glances. Although they respected Father Zeno's authority, they knew that they had to follow their own principles and convictions. With courage, they prepared to challenge the omnipotent being in front of them, willing to fight for what they believed was right, even if it meant facing the divinity itself. The air on the mental plane was charged with tension, as Awamo and Ewin prepared to face Father Zeno. Their divine auras collided in a show of titanic forces, as Ewin and Awamo prepared to challenge the supreme being in front of them. Awamo, with his heavenly book in hand, looked at Father Zeno with determination.
Father Zeno, although we respect your authority, we cannot allow you to continue with this destruction,
he stated firmly.
We'll fight for peace and balance in the universe, even if it means standing up to you.
Father Zeno, with an impenetrable calm, nodded in recognition.
Your courage is admirable, but you will not be able to stop me,
he replied calmly.
The fate of the universe is in my hands, and I'll do whatever it takes to preserve its balance.
Without further words, the battle began with a burst of divine energy. Awamo unleashed his celestial power, summoning rays of light that he threw against Father Zeno, while Ewan threw waves of energy with determination. However, Father Zeno showed impressive resilience, deflecting every attack with surprising ease. The fight went on for what seemed like an eternity, with Ewan and Awamo and Father Zeno trading punches and counterpunches in a cosmic dance of power and skill. Every movement was imbued with a supernatural force, while the mental plane trembled under the intensity of his conflict. However, as time passed, Awamo and Ewan began to feel the weight of their opponent. Father Zeno's power was overwhelming, and every blow Ewan and Awamo received weakened them even more. Despite their bravery and determination, it seemed that they were fighting against an impossible-to-defeat force. Awamo, panting from the effort, looked at his companion with concern.
Ewan, we can't go on like this,
he admitted sincerely.
Father Zeno's too powerful for us.
Ewan, though exhausted, nodded determinedly.
I know, Awamo, but we can't give up,
he replied firmly.
We must keep fighting for Thraxis Nocturn and for all beings in the universe.
With a final effort, Ewan and Awamo gathered their forces to launch a final attack against Father Zeno. However, the Supreme Being easily overcame them, deflecting his power with a contemptuous gesture. Father Zeno looked at Ewan and Awamo with a mixture of admiration and regret.
They're brave, but their struggle has come to an end,
he solemnly declared.
Accept your defeat and let fate take its course.
With a resigned sigh, Awamo and Ewan surrendered to Father Zeno's overwhelming strength. Although they had fought with all their heart and soul, they knew that they could not defeat the Supreme Being in front of them. Father Zeno, with a compassionate look, looked at them benevolently.
Rest now, my brave creations,
he said gently.
His bravery will be remembered throughout the universe.
Father Zeno, with an unflappable expression, extended his hand towards the exhausted Ewan and Awamo. In an instant, a powerful burst of cosmic energy emanated from his palm, enveloping Awamo and Ewan in a dazzling radiance. Ewan and Awamo screamed in agony as Father Zeno's energy enveloped them, feeling every fiber of their being torn apart under the relentless power of the Supreme Being. Their bodies, imbued with divine light, were slowly consumed in the maelstrom of energy, fading little by little into the aether of the cosmos. Awamo and Ewan fought with all their might to resist the cataclysm that engulfed them, but it was useless. The power of Father Zeno surpassed them in every respect, and they were soon reduced to mere shadows of their former glory. With the last gasp, Awamo and Ewan exploded, leaving body parts all over the mental space, dissipating into cosmic nothingness while their essence merged with the universe. At that precise moment, we return to the earthly plane, where the fierce battle between the most powerful warriors of Thraxis Nocturn and the shadow creature was reaching its climax. Bursts of energy and thunderous crashes echoed in the air, while Bardock, in the middle of the combat, glimpsed Awamo and Ewan, who were lying unconscious on the ground, enveloped in a halo of divine light. Surprise and dismay were reflected on the faces of the warriors, who momentarily stopped their frantic struggle upon realizing the situation. Bardock, his eyes wide open, watched in horror as Ewan and Awamo's bodies began to shake, emanating flashes of energy that increased in intensity with each passing second. A tense silence enveloped the battlefield as everyone watched the scene in disbelief. Suddenly, a heart-rending explosion echoed in the air, making the earth and sky tremble. Bardock and the other warriors were thrown back by the force of the explosion, protecting themselves as best as they could from the shockwave that was spreading around them. When the afterglow of the explosion faded, what was left was a smoking crater where Awamo and Ewan once stood. The warriors slowly stood up, stunned by what they had just witnessed, as the shadow creature, now shrouded in an even denser darkness, prepared to lash out again before the protecting warriors of Thraxis Nocturn. Bardock clenched his fist determinedly, feeling a mixture of sadness and fury burn inside him. He knew that they must continue the fight, not only for the honor of their planet, but also in memory of the brave fallen Guardians. With a war cry, the warriors rushed into combat again, determined to avenge the loss of their comrades and protect their home from the darkness that threatened to consume it. After the devastating explosion that killed Iwamo and Ewin, the warriors of Thraxis Nocturn gathered in a circle, still stunned by what had happened. Bardock, with a gloomy look, broke the silence with a grave tone.
Damn it! What the hell just happened?
Turtles, frowning, shook his head in disbelief.
I don't know, but we can't let this sacrifice be in vain. We need to get this thing over with once and for all.
Raditz, with his fist clenched, furiously nodded determinedly.
You're right! Iwamo and Ewin gave their lives to protect this planet. We cannot disappoint his sacrifice.
Frieza, with his usual impassive expression, spoke in a cold and calculated tone.
The death of Ewin and Iwamo should not be in vain. We must unite and concentrate our efforts on defeating that shadow creature.
Cooler, with a serious look, added determinedly,
We are facing an unprecedented threat, but if we fight together, we can overcome it. Let's do it for the honor of Thraxis Nocturne, for the legacy of our brave comrades.
Bardock nodded solemnly, his jaw tense with determination.
So, are we in agreement? We'll fight together until the end and avenge our fallen.
The warriors nodded in agreement, sharing a look of determination and unity. With their hearts filled with determination, they prepared to face once again the darkness that threatened their home. As the warriors prepared to face the shadow creature again, a fierce determination burned in their hearts. Turtles, feeling the energy of the battle, was the first to unleash his power.
It's time to show them our true power!
With a powerful scream, Turtles wrapped himself in an aura of energy. Her dark hair turned golden and her eyes shone with a dazzling intensity. The energy of the Super Saiyan emanated from his being, infusing strength and determination into his entire being. Raditz, inspired by Turtles' example, followed suit.
It's my turn!
With a burst of energy, Raditz's dark hair bristled, turning golden just like his brothers. His ki increased dramatically, emanating a commanding presence that filled the battlefield. Seeing the transformation of his comrades, Bardock also joined the fray.
I can't stay behind!
With a battle cry, Bardock unleashed all his power. His fiery aura enveloped him in a higher golden glow. His energy increased to astronomical levels, propelling him towards a higher form of his race. Frieza, observing the transformation of the Saiyans, did not want to be left behind.
The time has come to show my true strength.
With a burst of energy, Frieza transformed into his golden form of maximum power similar to 100% full power. His body radiating a golden glow. His power multiplied several times, turning him into an unstoppable force that rivaled the sunlight itself. Cooler, feeling the energy surrounding him, decided to join the fight with all his might.
It's time to unleash my true potential.
With a flash of energy, Cooler transformed into his metallic form, his body glowing with a metallic luster. His stamina and power increased exponentially, making him an invincible force that would defy even the gods. With their transformations complete, the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne once again faced the shadow creature with renewed determination and a power that eclipsed any darkness. In the skies of Thraxis Nocturne, the battle continued as the transformed warriors faced off against the shadow creature, a being whose dark power threatened to devour everything in its path. With each of the warriors unleashing their full potential, the cosmos trembled under the force of their epic showdown. The golden aura of Turtles, Raditz, and Bardock, combined with the imposing presence of Frieza and Cooler in their transformed forms, formed a dazzling spectacle in the night sky. Energy flickered around them, lighting up the darkness with golden and silver flashes as they prepared for the final showdown. The shadow creature, sensing his power of his adversaries, emanated a rumbling roar that echoed through the planet. His dark form seemed to twist and distort as he prepared for the final assault.
It's time to end this once and for all!
With a battle cry, Turtles lunged forward. His speed increased by his Super Saiyan form. The shadow creature responded with an onslaught of dark energy, but Turtles nimbly dodged it, moving with astonishing speed across the battlefield. Raditz and Bardock followed Turtles' lead, attacking with relentless ferocity. Their blows echoed in the air, each one charged with the strength of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. The shadow creature's attacks were swift and fierce, but the Saiyans deftly dodged them, responding with even more powerful blows.
Father, let's keep the pressure on this thing. We can't let it destroy our home. I know. We're not going to allow this monster to destroy Thraxis Nocturn. Our power is more than enough to end it. That's right. You taught us to fight with courage and determination. We'll not back down before this creature is destroyed. Take this!
The shadow creature dodged Bardock's attack with agility, launching its counterattack with its sharp claws.
Careful, Father! Don't worry about me. I'm more than ready for this. And take this too!
Raditz's attacks hit the shadow creature hard, but it quickly recovered and counterattacked with a surge of dark energy.
Damn, this thing's tougher than I thought. We can't give up now. Our planet depends on us. You're right. Let's show you what we're capable of.
The two Saiyans launched into the air attack once more with renewed determination. Their blows echoed in the air, each one charged with the strength of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. The shadow creature, although resistant, was overcome by the ferocity of the Saiyans. Turles, with his golden hair flowing behind him, launched a quick series of precise punches, each one carrying with it the power of his transformation into Super Saiyan. His movements were fluid and graceful, as if he were dancing around his enemy, dodging every attack with impressive agility.
There's no escape for you, monster. Your darkness can't compete with the power of the Super Saiyan.
With a battle cry, Turles lashed out at the shadow creature, striking with overwhelming force. Every blow resounded in the air, shaking the battlefield with its power. The shadow creature was fighting desperately, but its attacks seemed weak compared to Turles' ferocity. Meanwhile, Raditz and Bardock were continuing their assault on the shadow creature. Their attacks were coordinated and precise, each complementing the other in a deadly dance of destruction. The shadow creature found itself increasingly cornered, unable to cope with the combined might of the Saiyans.
Come on, Father. We know we can stop this thing. I know, Raditz. Let's keep pushing until there's nothing left of this creature.
With renewed determination, the two Saiyans redoubled their efforts, launching a series of devastating attacks against the shadow creature. Each blow echoed in the air, carrying with it the weight of his determination and the desire to protect his home planet. Frieza and Cooler were watching the battle intently from a distance, their cold gazes evaluating every move of the Saiyans and the shadow creature. As the fight intensified, they noticed with increasing concern how the shadow creature began to gain more strength, releasing a dark energy that threatened to destabilize this situation.
It seems that the things are getting more complicated than I expected. Yes, the shadow creature seems to be gaining ground. If we don't intervene soon, we could face an even more dangerous situation.
With a cold determination, Frieza and Cooler exchanged a glance before heading towards the battlefield. His presence made itself felt immediately. His overbearing aura flooded the area as they prepared to face the shadow creature.
Looks like we need to intervene before things get out of control. I agree. We cannot allow the shadow creature to wreak more havoc on our planet.
With surprising speed, Frieza and Cooler launched into action, deploying all the power in an effort to contain the shadow creature. His attacks were precise and devastating, each blow carrying with it the weight of his determination and the desire to protect his home. However, the shadow creature was not going to be easily defeated. With a thunderous scream, he split into 4 separate beings, each one darker and more malevolent than the last. The earth trembled under their weight as they advanced towards the warriors, ready to unleash their fury on them.
It seems that this creature has more tricks up its sleeves than we thought. It doesn't matter. We have our own tricks.
Well, guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now, don't forget to leave your powerful like, Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now, without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.